Hi, I am Hannu Vahokoski. I want to inspire you to catch your own ingredients and make healthy, good, tasty food out of them. Sometimes it's good for camping and camping sites. Sometimes you can even make fancy candlelit dinners. Let's see what we have this time.
This is outdoors food.
Today I'm going to show you how I painted this canoe. I got this a couple of months ago from my father-in-law, who had made it many years ago all by himself, which is pretty impressive. And when I got this, it had been painted many times. It was mostly white, and at the rear it was a bit green, the kind of green which I actually wanted. And so I went and bought a couple of grease spray paints, and I started painting, but it was not very smooth and it was uneven, and it kind of looked like camouflage. And then it hit me, why not make it camouflage? I could use that for duck hunting as well. So now I was thinking, what would be the perfect color and perfect pattern for this duck hunting and so on. Back in the 90s, I was in the army, recon, so I know pretty much how to hide yourself from the humans, but maybe animals have different view. So I went and did some research, and here is now the result. Let's see.
This is the way we humans see colors. Typical hunters in their orange in the forest, no filters used. This is the way deer and elk see the colors and the picture in itself. It's a blurrier than what we see, but it's also kind of a greenish since they are colorblind and they don't see red at all. So you're safe wearing orange. But what if you had blue cap like the guy over here? It actually stands out. So remember, blue is bad. Again, back to the human eye picture. And now we see how the birds see it, especially geese and ducks. They see also a little bit blurry because their eyes are on the other side of the head, but they see colors a lot brighter than we do, and they see even more colors, especially the UV light, so everything that can be bright actually shines up. Basically, they see the way we saw clothes in the 80s disco. So remember, don't wear anything bright. But again, if you wear something that is only black, like the dog over here, if the environment looks different, then you also stand out. One more thing is about the patterns. There is not regular shapes and patterns in nature. It's all random. On the left hand side, I have added 12 sticks. They are in this straight pattern and they stand out like you can see over here. But if you put them in random order, they kind of disappear. See. And the same with the bird's eye. They do stand out somehow, but not as clearly as here. So avoid similar kind of irregular patterns. Use randomness. Kids are great at random, so I let them paint different shapes with different colors as a base. The colors I used were black, brown, that same green, then olive green as the really base color, bright green, and finally beige, which is the color of reed. You're quite good with only 3 basic colors like black or yellowish, beige, or green. After the olive base paint, I just started using different items that I found from the yard as stencils, and then I applied different colors to them. The most important thing is to remember that they had to be somewhat vertical because that's how the plants grow, and remember the randomness.
The final touch is done with dark colors. I'm going to use black and brown. I'm also going to use reed as stencil because where I'm going to be canoeing a lot, that's what's going to be filled with reed. All right, this is here kind of beige color, which is almost same as this reed. So let's do some brown colors. Nah, not quite. I don't like this. Let's try again. Well, why not? Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So now I'm going to do the whole canoe with this. I think this actually turned out to be pretty good. It looks fine, but more importantly, it's really disguising the shape of the canoe and in a way that the birds will pursue it. And now the very last final touch. Let's see how this works. All right, let's see. Is my canoe now ready? Yes, it is. To be honest, I'm quite pleased with this one. I think will look good with duck hunting and also fishing. So let's see what will the final results be when I get this on the water. I went to some test drive with the canoe yesterday, and I noticed that whenever I sit at the other end will of course rise up, and then this whole blue bottom will shine. And since we're not supposed to have the blue color anywhere, I have to hide it. So I'm going to paint it green again. First, before you do the painting, you're supposed to just clean the bottom. So what I do, I just with a normal brush and water, I just scrub. And this is what I did with the whole canoe before I started painting it. Unfortunately, the waters in Baltic Sea are quite dirty nowadays, so the base color of olive green is probably the best for this now. You're not supposed to do this in direct sunlight, but since it's not very warm anymore, I guess it doesn't matter that much. Let's see. Now that all painting is done, there is still one more phase to go. That is protection. You probably know that there are these 4 stages in every paint job. That is good cleaning. You probably have to apply some sandpaper. 2, primer. 3, the actual paint. And 4, that is coating and good protection. I'm going to use the Maston, the same kind of a varnish or from the same producer that I used for the canoe painting. That's just because it's all over the stores. But make sure it's matte, not glossy, otherwise it will shine and scare all the birds away. And few thin layers should be okay. And if you want to know what kind of adventures my canoe will have in the future, please subscribe my channel and you'll be first to know.
This is Outdoors Food.